Welcome to your Monday, July 21st, Monday Power Hour meeting with Katelyn, Carly, and Clare Fulton. How has the past week been? What's happening? We've got tons of stuff to go through, but you tell us what did you see or how are open houses?
We had 20 groups.
20 groups through. That was brand new listing in Whitby.
Pringle Creek.
Pringle Creek, Whitby. Both days you ran it. Both days were busy?
Saturday was more busy.
Saturday is more busy. So there's no I'm not seeing any trends between Saturday and Sunday anymore.
Where's Pringle Creek and Whitby again?
Roslyn and Garden.
Roslyn and Garden.
Garden.
Oh, Garden.
And were people with agents or by themselves
It was a mix. But
A mixture.
Most people had agents.
Like were they
Saturday,
with?
You actually couldn't keep up a little bit.
Okay, that's kind of fun. Yeah. It's a big house too, like 4,000 square feet.
Was that Whitby?
So,
Whitby.
Yeah.
That's 4,000 square feet?
3,100 square feet.
Oh.
Well, with
the basement.
yeah.
And it was busy. 949.
Yeah.
But brand new too, so.
Right.
Holding offers.
Yes.
Oh, it's a brand new house.
No, sorry, brand new listing.
Oh.
Yeah, I say I'm trying to compare trends of doing open houses after the first week to see if you're still getting activity. I know of somebody that did it in Markham. It was listed at 1.2, then relisted to list low at 999, and still had about 10 groups through the open house at the new price.
Poor Charlie out in the west end there also, I think did 3 open houses for me.
Charlie did it for you?
On 3 occasions. I think he.
How come you're doing open houses?
So they're not new. Is Charlie online? If he's online, let us know how they are.
SOS. Poor Charlie.
So those are not new listing then? That you've been open housing them every weekend, or?
I never opened house it, but he reached out.
Okay. That's good
Reached
to.
out
Yeah,
and I
sure.
said, hey, bro, you're in Mokeville, I got a listing there. He was sure.
Nothing wrong with that. If you're not doing anything else anyways, you got to get in houses, so that's
You are
okay.
still getting stuff
No, very little.
Very little choice.
okay.
No, we don't do them anymore, that's it.
Yeah. I still think it's okay for agents to do it if they're following
Well, I told
Caitlin's
my
system
client,
and doing the door
if
knocking
somebody
and.
sit there and pick up leads,
Of course.
Great, but chances are it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyone online open up about open houses? Or I saw signs, but maybe not as many as the previous weekend. I'm seeing a lot of for sale signs, so.
Oh, yeah.
Driving through every single neighborhood, there's tons of for sale signs.
Go to Markham.
Even in Niagara.
Niagara, like
Niagara
Santa
too?
Clara, Niagara, it seemed like every other house was for sale.
Wow.
Like maybe these are vacation properties
Oh,
or
yeah.
rental properties, but
Airbnbs or
and then not priced as expensive as you would think. Like there's some decent pricing out there, but it's expensive still. Yeah, interesting.
Anyone have condos? Are those still quiet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
Condo towns too? Those ones are okay, right?
Price point's
If
okay
they're
for
priced correctly, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're still sitting on yours? You're still sitting?
Oh yeah, Alex, how's yours?
That's okay. Okay.
I did have a couple agents,
I'll take them. Be excited. 2 showings is great.
especially for condo. Carly was correct though on her. Remember we did that survey with you guys, like first
Hindsight.
offers, the best offer. We had 2 agents at the Pickering Village office that had listings in Durham that were just sitting for months and months and months. One ended up in multiple offers with 2 offers out of nowhere, and one ended up selling on a main road in Oshawa.
But 10K less than the
But
first
10K, like less money than what they got had they had taken those offers at the beginning of the listing. So good lesson.
So we're going to create a little graphic for you to insert in a listing presentation. We'll call it the hindsight thing, and your message will be don't let your sellers get into hindsight. Like just let them know whatever offer becomes their first offer. It might happen in a week, it might happen in a day. Let's pay attention to that offer because research in our own brokerage has shown that that first offer might be your best offer. And if it's not your best price, it may be your most strongest, most excited buyer that you want to work with. So maybe you don't end up at that first price, but that initial person that's giving you that offer is a pretty hot one.
You know what the worst part about that is? If they get a better offer by waiting, and it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. I told you.
Does that happen?
Didn't I tell you?
Let's do a poll. Has that happened to anybody?
What?
Yeah.
With this year in this market?
Where you got higher?
Actually, it just happened to me.
Where you got
Yeah?
higher than
I
that first
didn't tell him
offer?
it's his best offer. I just said, look, it's a good offer. Let's work with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
work with it.
And
Yeah.
and you worked with it.
The guy ended up eventually giving what my client wanted.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's the
That's what I'm saying.
offer.
But
it's the
that
first offer,
person was
yeah.
As a
the
matter of
highest
fact,
person.
yes, that was the first.
So that's the
Some
secondary
sellers
part,
would
yeah.
just say, I don't want it, and
That's
a
right.
weaker agent would say, okay, no problem, let's sit and wait, instead of being very honest with them to say, no, let's work with it.
Yeah.
So I think agents are now learning their lesson not to to be a little bit stronger with their sellers to not turn up that opportunity. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we have to show them by experience. Talking to our other brokers in our meetings, this is what's happening in the world. So when you get prepped to do that listing, that's whatever offer you get, that might be the person we have to work with. So prep them before it happens. Don't prep them when the offer does come, because then they're going to say, happened too early, or it's not enough, or they're insulting me, or they get all emotional. Yeah. Prep them right before you put that listing
Which
on the
we've been
market.
thinking about doing. I don't know if you guys would be open to this, but I know a lot of agents are reaching out to us saying they don't know how to read the market stats, or they don't know what to tell their clients. So we were thinking as an idea, this isn't really a new idea because Claire's been doing this for a long time, but when we send you guys the monthly stats, we were thinking about maybe adding a graph that goes with that month before, like Carly was saying, the hindsight graph, and maybe a one-pager that you guys can bring to your listing presentations that's just on the stats. So you guys don't have to go researching it, but we'll give you guys something as a brokerage level with a graph plus the stats and maybe a write-up with a few points that you guys can just print and bring to your presentation that month, because I don't think the evergreen presentations are working right now because things are changing like every month. So if you guys think that will help, it'll be sent to your email now each month, but as a printable topic that you guys can actually bring and talk to your sellers at the table when you guys go. So
yeah.
is that something you guys would be interested in, maybe like a month by month?
There is no problem. The problem is every seller have a price in their mind.
Yes.
But we're just talking like stats, not so much the price. That'll be a separate topic
good
is the
thing-
CMA,
I
right?
understand, but sometimes some of the sellers,
No, not some.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
That's the only benefit, is that they're all going to think the same. They're not unique.
they don't want to see any.
I know.
stats,
I have some
anything.
crazy stats too. I agree.
Like after some sellers they agree,
Yeah.
but some sellers they say no, just wait.
They don't, yeah, it doesn't pertain
Wait
to their
and
house.
see. And if there is another offer came
Yeah.
higher than that,
Yeah.
then they start teaching us.
Yeah. So at least like if we give you guys the conversation points though, at least you have it in front of you to be like, no, like we talked about this at our meeting, whether you wanted to absorb it was up to you, but you gave the information. So we have to over communicate highly in this market.
Another problem is if in the neighborhood another house sell,
Yes.
For hire.
Yeah. I know. They are convinced that their house is better than that one.
Always.
Always. They have a better backyard. They have a better this.
Better
they have a better
lot.
kitchen. They have a better nails.
this one is better than that.
That's
Yep,
right.
Always.
Always.
Even if it has like less anything.
But
they're
the fact that we
better.
know this behavior will help you overcome it. Whether they listen or not is up to them. But as long as you're telling them the factual information that they need to know, that's what we're going to try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to discuss.
Yeah.
Is the showings nowadays like that?
like lower.
2 weeks, 1 or 2.
But actually showings,
if it's an overpriced listing, yes. You're
but
gonna
I will
have
say
less.
showings overall have actually
But
increased.
In the open house, people show up more than that. What is this?
No, actually showings have increased.
I think
Showings are pretty
Nelson.
high.
Did you
Showings
see
have-
showings this weekend, or
Broker Bay
who's
is pretty
tracking?
high.
Or no?
About 250, in and around 250.
There's about 50,000 showings being booked on Broker Bay
Because I have open house last 2 days.
Yeah.
First day 4 people showed up.
4 people.
That's good.
Yesterday 5 people showed
That's
up.
great.
That's great.
That's a good open house.
But in 2 weeks I have 2 showings.
Yeah.
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 Yep. I'd say everyone have like listings.
The open house don't know anything about the property.
Yeah.
No, like yesterday, out of 5 people, 4 of them, they are potential buyers.
Yeah. Like I know even from we have a listing in Curtis, when we underlisted it, we had 60 showings. They rejected all the offers. Now we're at about 1 a week. So like, it just shows that it's overpriced. But I think if you're priced correctly, you're gonna get a lot of showings.
How much was the price increase?
Way too much.
God bless you, John.
Yeah, way too much.
But
We should have taken that higher
we
offer.
have been very honest, and we have it in writing, and so we've done everything we could. Like you can't force
Whether they
everybody.
like listen
Whether
or
they want to
not,
listen is
up to you.
So
Problem of underpricing is once the client doesn't accept any offer,
Yeah, you're not
then
screwed,
you are
but
screwed.
it's hard. You're really
it's
hard
very
conversations.
It's very hard.
Because
Yeah.
you have to change the price to according to the seller's intention, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, depending on how you look at it, if the price is where it should be, when you increase it, but if you increase it to 10% over what it should be, then you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
That's not
Right.
maximum cases happening.
So you
That's
have
right.
to
Yeah.
increase it to what
Yeah, because you have no one to
fair
work
market
with.
value is.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to what we talked about before, just to make sure that everybody understands the logic, right? Like why would the first offer be the best offer? Anybody?
The first offer,
Anybody?
It's typically somebody that's had their eyes on the property.
Anybody? Okay, so
Serious
let me repose the question here so that you can convey it to your client. If you're running with the buyer and you've shown that buyer 25 houses in Pringle Creek, you've seen every single property that's in that neighborhood, every single your buyer, and that's the neighborhood your client wants. And all of a sudden, one comes up in Pringle Creek, and that buyer wants it. What's that buyer going to do?
Jump all over it.
He's going to jump all over it. So he's seen every single property in the neighborhood. This is a brand new property. He puts an offer in. He's lost. He wants this property. That's why the best offer is the first offer, because this guy is not the first house this guy's seen. This is like the guy's
Now
seen.
you're talking from the buyer's eye.
From the buyer's eye.
What about from the seller's?
You're trying to
Well, no,
explain
no,
this
so
to the seller.
Trying to explain why it is, so you can explain to the seller why is it the first offer is the higher offer, because these buyers seen 100 properties. Now this is the one he wants.
And they love it. It's hot.
And they've seen the properties in that price point.
And yeah, maybe they started a little too low. Maybe,
So
you
if
know.
your seller wants more than what the market is worth, that's another conversation completely different.
Yeah.
That's the first offer, that's completely different, right?
the best thing I believe in this situation to like convince the seller for assignment.
Yep. Sign backs are
Okay.
important.
Okay, so
You-
your
you're
job,
right.
okay, here's,
Just sign back.
you want to know what your job is as a listing agent? Just so anybody knows, in my opinion. It's not the fancy feature sheet. It's not the fancy web page. It's not the fancy talk. It's not the billboard. It's not the TV ad. It's not the radio ad. It's your
Zoom.
it's your ability to convince the seller to list it and sell it for a price that it's worth. That is your job. Negotiation. That's what you're getting paid for. That's what you're getting paid for the big bucks. Right? For instance, I know top producers, and you know who I'm talking about. They'll walk away from those properties that are overpriced, so they don't want the hassle. Right? If you've got a condominium and the condominiums are selling for $750 a square foot and your client wants $1,100, if you want grief, take the listing.
Well, Nancy, I don't know.
Right? And then it depends on what the market's doing. Is the market going up, the market going down,
Yeah.
and the competition. But anyway,
You
so
need to learn your client's motivation. That changes.
your client,
Yes,
client-
I was gonna
client's
say motivation.
is
Take a
everything.
lot of
Everything.
listening, the motivation changes from.
If they're not in a rush,
I can
run.
rate the price they'll sell for 3 months from now, they're under power sale.
Yep.
Yep.
But Mr. Seller, we know that if you don't price it right out of the gate, then it's going to be sitting there, like it's going to be there 40, 50 days of the market. If you price it right, it's going to sell right away.
I find it harder dealing with sellers who also want to buy because they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna wait for this price," but
Because they'll be like, I'm not in a rush to buy it. If I see the one that I want and I buy it.
property's gonna be higher.
But then they get to buy lower.
No, then
so
you can do your best, right?
yeah.
You can do the best you can. Just be careful with your staging. Be careful with your under-pocket expenses. Make sure that you're there, right?
And are you guys selling first or buying first?
There, that's my question. yeah.
Sorry.
They're
I think
typically
selling
buying.
first would be better
Yeah.
in this market.
And that's the problem.
personally.
These people are
That's what I'm
typically
saying.
buying
These people
first,
who
so they
try
don't
to
have the
sell first,
motivation.
They're like, "Hey, I need this price to
Yeah.
go buy
Yeah, but
this."
then they'll realize, then you have to
Can't
show them
afford
what they're trying to buy,
That's
and you'll be like, but you're going to sell low, but you're going to buy low too. So it kind of actually eases up the conversation a little bit if they've got that. If you buy first, that's scary, I think.
But that's what a lot of people are doing because they think that they're more.
Yeah.
They feel more safe doing that.
I think when it comes to offers, whether you're representing a buyer or a seller, when an offer comes or you send an offer in, you can't just pick a number out of a hat or because your client has a vision and has numbers, blah, blah, blah.
They manifested
You gotta
it,
justify
Eli.
your offer. So if you're trying to convince them to accept $100, you send them backup listings that sold for $100. You don't just say, well, that's my client, that's what my client wants to do. When
That's
I
what
get
their
agents
problem
like
is.
that, I crucify them. I really crucify them.
Yep. That is a
That's what
common
That's
thing.
what my client wants.
Just to repeat.
Not even once, what
just
they
to repeat,
need.
Just to repeat for everybody at home, what we're suggesting here is that sometimes the clients will hear from the agent saying, this is what my client wants, my client wants, this, my client wants. Well,
The buyers don't
What the
care.
hell are you doing? Why don't you send me your client? And I'll send you a referral fee, because I told Naja that recently.
my
You're not a
God.
closer. You can't close the deal. There's nothing wrong. Send me your client's info, you'll get the deal.
So we had one last couple of weeks ago, just to counter that. I like the argument. I'm not arguing with the argument, but I did overlook somebody's shoulder that was putting an offer at 1.3 for properties listed for 1.7. I said, well, what are you doing that for? It's so far apart. I said, what are you doing that for? He says, well, it's what my client wants.
Hey,
And then the following week, I find out the guy got it for 1.4. so who am I?
yeah, I think the message though,
That would have have been a sign of a motivated seller, though, too.
Yeah.
Like needed them just getting rid of inventory.
yeah, you have to negotiate though with your own client. It's not just negotiating with the other side. It's negotiating with your own client to help the two of them come together to make a deal. And that's been a light bulb moment for some agents. When I say you're focused on the wrong agent, they want to show them comparables. I said you have to focus on your own seller right now and show them the same thing you wanted to show them, and it switches your brain right over.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how many people want to look like heroes, whether it's a buyer's agent or a seller's agent.
Yep.
Like, we're here to get the deal done, take a paycheck
Yep.
and move on. Everybody's happy. They're big boys. Everybody can make an informed decision
Yep.
without taking advantage, you know? And if you
Yep.
end up getting a better deal, and that's great.
Yep. That was part of the Sirhan coaching. Actually, he said we're not here to break records anymore. We're just here to sell homes. Like, we don't have to be the highest sale on the street anymore. You're just selling the house is a kind of a win in itself right now.
So have you ever had situations where the other agent has comparables, and his comparables are nowhere, they're not comparables at all? They're not the same neighborhood?
Yeah,
right?
but at least he sent you something, then you can go back and give them your
So what's that
comparables.
agent trying to do? They're trying to
They're-
fool you? What?
They're trying to use data that
It
tells their
just depends
story.
on who they think they're talking to, because they can probably pull the rug under certain people.
So, yeah, okay.
But that's-
Because generally you should have the same comparables, and two agents should be able to work it through. You're just trying to sell it for market value. Nobody's trying to steal anything.
Yeah.
Just sell for market value.
That's why even comparables are tough right now, and why we're saying look at active listings right now, not just what's sold, because sometimes that comparable is no longer your comparable even after the next week. So that's why we're looking at active right now.
So let me get into stats.
Yeah, let's get
right
into
now.
it.
So we got 32,000 active listings, so it's down from 33,000.
Yeah.
It's 32,177. 18,000 are freeholds, 13,000 are condos. Vacants are still 27% of all freeholds are vacant, 42% of all condominiums are vacant.
That's the same. It's been like that for weeks.
Right, so it's been like that for a
So they're
while.
holding out for their prices for the rental and for the sale.
Well, in the condo market at 42% vacant, yeah,
These are for sale and for lease.
this is just
When
for sale.
We're talking active listings.
These are active listings for sale.
For sale.
42% of condos are vacant.
Wow, that's huge.
The lease stat is pretty similar also. So
And if if you want to just jump ahead a little bit on the leases that are out there that for lease on condos, 47% of them are vacant.
so they're both over 40%.
So let's just stick the numbers here. So we've got vacant, and the sales are actually up 4% from July of last year. July of last year was not a huge month, but we're still about 5,400 sales. So probably coming around that same number, minus 4%. The sales it sold for, actually no, compared to June, we're actually down 15% from June. So June sales were a little bit ahead of today. In June last year we did, this year we did 6,200, so minus 15%. So it's going to be 5,000 something. So it's not a big month for the summer, but that's what it is, right? Sales out over 101%, 19%. So about 20% of properties are selling for what we're asking. So if you're thinking about strategizing your list price so you can get multiple offers, you got a 20% chance of it working. Right? So it does work, not every time, but it's there. And I think I read somewhere else, somebody did a study where 80% of all properties are selling for under asking or something. So
yeah.
it kind of the numbers shake out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, June. So the leases, 18,000 active leases. Remember one time the leases were more than the sales? Now it's about almost half.
Yeah.
8,000 are freeholds, 10,000 are condos, vacant. As I said, they're 50% vacant overall. 54% of all freeholds are vacant, by the way, and only 47% of condos are vacant for leases. Leases are actually up 17% from last year, and they're up 4% from June. So I guess is it a time now for the students to start for looking places?
It should be, and I'm hearing that it's a lot slower than what it typically would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of some agents that have lease listings in Kitchener, which is typically a student, and they've been reducing the price every week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anybody else having a hard time getting rid of their leases?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I've got a couple downtown, same building. One of them is a higher end one. It's like $5,000, $4,500, furnished, unfurnished, whatever. But we're getting a lot of groups of 3s, and they're all 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, the bigger
I
units.
saw one come through there, a place for rent for 3,500, something like there, and some student wanted it for $3,500, and they're like, holy crap, but they want to put 15 of their kids in there, their
Yeah.
friends. Right, so you gotta be careful with that. You have to be very careful also with the tenants out there right now giving false information.
Yes.
So we're strongly recommend you use that SingleKey. I've reading stuff like lawsuits. There's a lawsuit going on, and the guy's complaining how the real estate agent took their 1 month rent and didn't qualify the tenant. So somehow a lot of sellers or landlords seem to think our job is to not only find the tenant, but to vet the tenant and to guarantee the tenant is going to make their payments. That they expect all the things, and basically that we're not doing any of that. Our job is to bring a tenant to the landlord. Landlord's his job to approve them or not. We can help through SingleKey or else, but it's his ultimate choice, not ours.
But isn't our job to put
Our
out
job is not.
credentials?
Our job is to give them credentials. Yes, our job is to
Guide them.
guide them, give them information they need to make a decision. But it's not us to investigate
Or to make the decision for
or
them.
to make the decision.
The WhatsApp chat was pretty heated about this. I think there was an article
There's a
about
CBC
it.
article going around.
And
yeah.
then some landlords are even upset with the agent when the tenants are messy, as if we have any control over the messes that they make in those homes.
We should go in every second day and inspect it.
Yeah, right?
Now the city,
$40 in commission we're getting.
just to let you girls talk next, but just off topic here, the city of Toronto is trying to float an idea that they're going to make the landlords responsible for the tenants using the premises to sell drugs.
What?
I think that's this week.
Like, yeah.
They're trying to pass
They're trying to pass so that the landlord is responsible for the tenant doing illegal activities in the suite.
Actions of the tenant for any illegal action.
Wow.
So if the tenant is selling drugs out of the unit
a meth lab
and they
in
get
there?
caught, and it's the landlord's responsibility, not the tenant's.
So what, they're gonna send the landlord to jail with the tenant?
Oh, yeah, fine.
They don't even let the
talk-
landlords go into the
I can't see it
units.
passing. They're talking about today.
No, makes sense.
And the reason why it won't pass, I believe, is that because the number one landlord for the number one drug dealers is probably the city of Toronto.
Oh, shoot.
Wants to charge for rainwater, okay? So, I mean, don't put it past her. She's an idiot.
So I can't see.
A lot less agents will be doing leases at that point.
Yeah.
And back to SingleKey now. If you've got a client that's really at the edge as far as cash flow goes, and they can't afford to get a bad tenant, then go to SingleKey and pay the insurance, and then the insurance will cover the tenant's bad behavior. I have no idea what it costs. I'm sure it's expensive. Have you idea, Nelson, what that is?
I'm not sure if that's something that's available if they're not involved with the lease process.
Yeah, so you'd have to be involved for
I
them.
think they're involved
Well,
somehow.
they would have to vet.
Vetting and all that.
Yeah, they'd have to vet the tenant. You couldn't just get your own tenant and ask them guarantee it.
Yeah,
They'd have to
so
do
you're
the whole
involved,
process.
guarantee it, right.
But if you got tenants out there, there are programs out there.
So we were talking earlier about seller optimism, and I think it's a lot of sellers that have increased optimism. Right? I don't think it's just a few of them. There was a cute study that looked at 500 adults who plan to sell a home in the next year, and they took another 500 who had sold a home, and they had a bunch of different categories. So they did some surveys, and they found that 77% of sellers had too high optimism of what their house was worth, and they were convinced that they were going to get their price no matter how long they waited. Even though 43% of the group who had sold their house sold for under their expectations. So even knowing that information, they presented this stat saying 40% of people have sold their house for less than what they thought. Still, 70% of people thought that they were going to be the ones to still get their price. So there's this whole optimism, they're I don't want to say a word, but they're a little a little delusional, right?
Yeah.
And so we really have to educate them. I really think that they think their house is better than everybody else's, and they're so wrapped up in their
very
own
optimistic of
house.
them.
It's super high optimism, and they're trying to figure out why. What is this behavior where they think that their house is worth so much more than even what they see on the market? What do you guys think? Why do they think their house is better? What is it?
All about money.
Money? All about money? That they want the money, so they're going to come up with their own excuses on how they're going to get the money?
Brainwashed.
Yeah, I know. Some people are saying it's location driven. So if you live in an area that is known to be a bit prestigious or high end, that alone is causing a bit of higher optimism for what their overall house is worth because they live in an area that overall is looked at. Yeah. So this is why we're having these conversations with you about how to talk to sellers, because I think that's where all your skills are going to come from right now, is how to talk to sellers and how to show them this information, how to show them articles that back up what you're saying, because a lot of them have a really false sense of optimism, and it's not going to help them sell their house, right? So, but there's actually studies now that are showing you what you're seeing out there in the real world, that there is a high inflated sense of optimism for what their sale price is going to be. I'm also reading some other reports about prices increasing. So we saw for the first time this month an HPI, it was almost flat, it was 0.2% all over Canada. So it's the first time that prices kind of stabilized. And now there's a lot of predictions that prices are going to increase by the end of this year. Curious your thoughts, or Claire, if you're reading the same thing. What do we think? Do we think prices are going to increase?
There's two lawyers there. There's two lawyers in every court.
That's right.
Increase? Is this just between us here, or is this?
No, there's actual. I'm not gonna.
Television?
We're on television. Yeah, well, that's
Let me
okay.
keep my opinions.
No, I mean this is what we're here to talk about. There's actually there's reports in the media of prices going up. It's almost like the sense of like buyers have to get in now. Right? Our regulatory boards and brokerages are showing stats, and I think the message is they're trying to get buyers to jump in. But I can't see prices increasing personally. I don't know.
A lot of people can't make ends meet right now, and that goes right down to buying groceries.
Yes,
Look at
functional
the church
living.
next door here, when they have their bazaar and their food drives, and that, look who's in there, going in there and picking up food. They're driving Mercedes, BMW.
Interesting.
I kid you not.
That's why they need the food bank, because they're spending too
And
much
they're
money.
in there raping the food banks, right?
They're spending more than they make right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think really.
Yeah, I don't know if
think
it's.
the prices will flatten out hopefully a little bit. I think there's room for them to go down still a
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
little bit, maybe 5% or so.
Yeah, but I
And
don't
it's all
see.
about- If we go back to the interest rates, they're
Yeah.
talking no more rate cuts this month either. That's 3 consecutive that we should have had.
Yeah.
3 quarters would have made a nice difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when and if and whatever,
We
it
don't
only counts in
expect-
horseshoes.
We can't expect.
You don't think so?
And we need lower inventory. But we want the prices
The thing
to
is,
go
that's
down.
what we
We
want.
want affordable
Yeah,
homes.
so when I was reading these articles, these are for our regulatory boards, and they're the ones that are saying prices are going to go up, you need to get in now. And I'm thinking, we don't want prices to come up. We want these units that we have on the market to sell. In order to do that, prices need to come down, both in rent and in sale prices. So I don't think
Life's too
this-
expensive.
It's very expensive, and I'm reading more that Canadians should be deleveraging right now, downsizing houses. I'm even thinking about my own car and downgrading to
We're getting Kias.
a non-luxury car for a couple years, because why not? It's just a car, you know. I think everybody's a little bit more sensitive right now, really looking at how they're spending money. And yeah, we went a little crazy for the last 3 years, and I think now we're starting to balance out. But a lot of people are really hurting. There's a lot of people are in mortgage renewals who bought in 2021, 2022. Those are the people I feel really bad for
Yeah.
Like,
right now.
these are the retirees. This is their nest egg.
Yeah.
At 65,
Yeah,
68,
that's-
they're losing their
yeah.
nest egg.
They're not losing their
And
no
we bought
no
them
no.
for like
Equity.
$20,000.
Those people are not losing their nest egg though, because the market for the past 40 years has been skyrocketing.
They've been probably mortgage free for
If
the
you
last.
look at your housing chart, this is similar to how HPI is right now, how home sales are. Your peak is here. It's only 2022. But for the past 40 years, it's been pretty healthy. Those are the people I actually don't feel sorry for. I think
They paid
they're
like $80K for a little
Like
home.
you mentioned, they've leveraged themselves to help.
That's
their children
different.
Buy their first
that's
home,
totally different.
or whatever the case
Yeah,
is. And
yeah.
a lot of people are on that boat right now.
Yeah,
so
that's different.
Interest rates have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Prices dropping have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what house prices are going to be when our little nephews are buying.
22-year-old
They're-
buying
they're gonna go up.
$300,000 home? No.
Like imagine your grandkids and how much their houses are going to cost if it keeps going up. They're
They're
it's
just going to get
crazy.
grandpa's house.
There you go.
It's true.
Continue
They're just going to inherit homes.
Like I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's perfect for them. They don't have to lift the finger.
No, it's true. Yeah, so beyond, some of the other things that I'm reading that are a little bit more fearful, there's some people out that are commenting that, the market's just balanced right now. And this is a normal market, and a lot of agents in this room have already been through markets like this, and it's still not as bad as those markets. Yeah, we had a month of flat pricing. People are saying this almost feels a little bit like quiet contemplative, like it's sort of like this interesting energy in the market where it's not up and down, it's a little uncertain, but almost a bit stable. But but we still are in a world shadowed by economic risk, tariff threats, geographical, uncertainty. There's still lots of stuff going on in the world too that people are really scared about.
Certain areas in the city that their bidding wars are a regular thing.
Yep.
They're still getting, the prices have come down, but they're still getting good money.
Yep.
Yep.
You go to York region is still very strong. Durham is soft. You know,
Yep.
Scarborough, again, depending on where you are, certain areas are high, so you gotta go pocket to pocket.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
all
you can't
pocket
just
driven.
Across the board doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, it's all pocket driven. It's all
We go back to the
community
basics, and
driven.
it's location.
That's right.
What are you offering, and, what are your expectations? Simple.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and even across Canada. So even though we're experiencing
This is-
what we are in here, and so Ontario, British Columbia, we're sort of the same right now, but the rest of Canada is not looking at how we are looking right now. So if you look at Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Newfoundland, they're all posting year-over-year gains. It's a very different world, province to province. So it's definitely not even within Canada all the same. Each province is different. Each pocket is different. So it's really interesting.
Average home pricing in comparison to other big cities.
Our average house price is very expensive. It's very high relative, and that's why I think those other markets are doing better in terms of sales, because ours is just too high. British Columbia and Ontario is just too high. No one can afford it at all. So everyone's, and now I am reading though that Alberta is still, they're struggling on their starts a little bit as well, but I'm reading other provinces are doing
Like
Okay.
Saskatchewan, East Coast.
You notice
Yeah.
how they're all advertising to bring people to relocate there?
Yeah. I haven't
And they're giving
seen
them
like,
incentives.
The Calgary and stuff like that. Yeah.
have you guys had people moving
Yeah, my
provinces?
neighbor
I haven't
moved to
personally
Calgary.
yet. They moved to
His
Calgary.
2 kids couldn't find anything.
Calgary's
here.
always been a spot.
They couldn't find anything as far as work, reasonable work,
Yeah.
and a place to
The
rent. They went
rental
out there.
situation is also better.
Yeah.
But the jobs aren't so good out there sometimes. We had some clients that sold here in Durham to go move out there, and then they couldn't get jobs, so they had to come back, and then they lost their house and had to reinvest, and then they bought higher than what they would have if they just stayed. It was really sad, actually.
I just visited 2 weeks ago. Rental is very good.
Yeah.
Airbnb, pretty high.
Yep. Especially now, Stampede and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm reading stuff here just for Korea and other brokers out there. They're saying that yes, we're in a bit of a hold pattern right now, waiting for whatever's going on with their trade business. But everybody's predicting that the fourth quarter, the fourth quarter 2020 this year and next year, things will pick up. They're already saying across Canada that the sales are already up 17% from April across Canada.
That's why we have to be careful, because across
So you
Canada,
gotta be
that doesn't
careful.
include Ontario and,
Yeah.
and BC.
It would probably be more if you
But my
took us
point is
out.
to say, okay, so I know you're talking about prices and what's going on, but what do you tell that 25-year-old, 27-year-old kid? You tell them don't buy real estate?
Nope.
Eh? You know where you say that, right? So that means that the prices will go up. So it's still the investment. Like we were talking, I was like, it's a bad investment. It's still the strongest investment. It's still better than renting,
Yep.
right? It's still a good thing to have. So there's nothing wrong with that.
No, for sure.
People are thinking of relocating.
It's
That's
okay.
okay. We don't care.
There's business in there.
And that's great.
When they move out, somebody moves in. So we don't care if
People are
I,
relocating here
know,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
yeah, there's still even though we've cut back on the immigration, there's still 200,000 people that vote.
We got our own
It's
piece.
still
Yeah.
there's still 300,000 people this
There's
year.
still lots of people.
No, it's true. Still lots of people, but we still don't have any condo starts. that whole world
I
is
think- I
just
think
We just
that's-
drove by the Burrow. The Burrow? That was funny. That's sad.
it's the
They're
same.
not building.
Yeah, so in Greater Toronto, Hamilton area, we did 500 sales last quarter, condominium market. Even worse for housing, pre-construction. I'm talking new,
Like
new housing
new
starts.
sales?
New sales,
Yeah.
right? Only 3 projects started this year. And then I don't know if it's circulating around everywhere. I got a petition on my WhatsApp. There's a bunch of people getting together to sign a petition to go against developers to say that it's their fault, that a lot of buyers are in this position where they can't close and everything's appraising too high, and they're trying to get developers to let buyers out of their deals
Or lower the
more
price.
gracefully, or lower the price. But there's a petition. Is it just me that got? You guys are not. It's not hugely circulated or a big thing. So this is somebody that probably is an agent. He either did a lot of pre-construction sales or he either bought a lot himself, and they're trying to put some of the blame back on the developers to let these people out of their deals. A contract is a contract, so that's right.
Nobody was there to share their profits. when
That's
that
right.
happened either, so
Like
they're-
exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
But I think the problem is,
A lot of profits being sold by buyers and now
Yeah.
Yeah.
turned a little bit, everybody's crying.
Yeah, you're right.
And
I had my first one, sorry. Huh?
Going after the government for raising interest rates earlier, they said they wanted to also start to tax assignment sales.
Yeah.
As a 100%.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
So I came across my first client who's being sued by a builder. So they walked away from a $550,000 condo, $50,000 deposit. They walked away from it, didn't close, and now the builder's suing them for $680,000.
The whole price.
So that's the first one I saw come up there. So even you say, well, how come they sue him for $600,000? Well, because they want to scare the crap out of the poor guy. And basically they've already got his deposit, so they're just and the property hasn't sold yet. So I don't know. It's hard.
In that situation, like,
What can you do? I mean,
going to be like, just going to grant that builder?
You have to have a strong lawyer for sure, and you're going to have to pay money to do that. But there's I don't know why they would go after a buyer that doesn't have the money. If they don't have $600K,
Well,
where's it going to come
well,
from?
don't forget-
Register a lien on his name or something.
yeah, don't forget, a lot of these condos were not their primary residence. These guys are investors. They bought these,
Sure.
so they've all got inventory as if they've got other properties.
Yeah.
Majority were, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And 25% of all sales were being sold to investors, so they've got other property.
Yeah.
Just burn it down.
Any precedents set yet in court or something?
Oh, I mean, it's, yeah, people enforced to pay, yeah.
Like $500,000.
Yeah. And the guy just goes bankrupt and it's into that, right? So,
The president did say, that's why they're suing.
The majority, I think, that they're gonna go after are the ones that have something to lose. The ones that don't, typically, they're not gonna waste and exhaust their resources and money on it.
Yeah. Something's happening though here, because even though we added, you said just 268,000 people, you'd think that these people would need somewhere to go. It's going to be condos.
Yeah, they're in shelters.
But for some reason, Toronto has our starts are down 60%, but places like Vancouver, their starts are 74% more year over year as of June. So Vancouver has more starts. There's other provinces also, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary.
Their process is a lot easier.
So that's why something's wrong in our city and how we're approving these developments and the cost to do that, because all of our other big cities around us have actually increased their housing starts, as they should, because they understand that the demand for it. So something's wrong in Toronto.
Well, they're bringing in quality immigrants.
so the good thing is they're not making any new houses and new condos, so therefore the existing condos can become more expensive.
Is it good news?
At some point, because our
No,
resale
no,
condos are
for people.
13,000 that are sitting on the
Yeah,
market
true.
right now. Finally, those will start to get some love, right? But that's going to be a bigger problem, though. 7 years, it seems like it's good, but that's not in the long term. This is just a cute little house if you want to follow some pricing in Toronto. It's 37 Alistair. It's a house in Toronto, I think it's East York. 2018, sold for $770,000. 2024 sold at a loss for $750,000. The thing's been sitting vacant
Decrepit.
still. It's becoming more decrepit as the years goes on. There is now roof is collapsing. There's holes. Blah blah blah. Now it's back on the market in 2025 for $688,000. But they started at $999, and now they've reduced to $688. And I forgot to look it up. I'm pretty sure they're holding offers at that
Yeah.
price.
So they want $1 million.
So they should try to get to the $1 million. They have since severed it into 2 lots. They're still looking. They've got drawings ready. They're still looking for somebody to buy and develop this thing. It's been since 2018.
Full offers are
Offers were yesterday.
Did you see if they got any?
Who's the listing agent?
I don't know. The point is, this poor little decrepit house that could be housing two families is sitting here. Nobody can do anything. So it's
Builders won't touch that, because I have a client who builds properties, they won't build a spec, but when they buy a property and build a spec, they have to charge HST inclusive.
of course that's what I say. The cost is too expensive. It's already $400 to $600 per square foot just to build it, let alone the taxes and permits and everything. I don't know, but yeah, it's just something to follow if you're this part of our housing problem, right? What else, Claire? Do you want to piggyback on something?
Just a couple things there. So your consumer price index came out for 1.9%. It's increased from 1.9. So therefore, the interest rates for July 30th, I don't think that anything's going to happen. Anybody else? I mean, everybody's hoping for a quarter point or half point or something going on.
Same
there,
as our
but-
interest, everyone's just
In
going
the
to.
financial, we're thinking 0.5%.
And then same thing happened in the States. They're not increasing their rates either. So everybody wants to fire the people down there. And so I'm not sure up here. So I'm not sure if we expect a rate change or not.
You know who hired Powell?
Yeah, I can guess. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I want Katelyn to do some stuff too.
I'm at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I can save this one.
All right, so just a couple of things here, just housekeeping things. You guys know, for instance, if you advertise a property that has a basement apartment that's not legal for sale, you can't put basement apartment
Income.
at $1,500. If it's not legal, it's not legal.
It means it's illegal.
Illegal. So what people do is say potential in-law suite, something like that, so that, like the Italian kitchens, right? I mean, a lot of Italian houses have kitchens in the basement, but they're not rented out. They're just the second kitchen, right?
I do too.
So
I'm not just Italian.
so
My point being, yes.
no. In the old days, we all call it home comes with an Italian kitchen. It used to be, but now we call them in-law suites.
Oh, I don't know. That's funny. Yes.
So everybody's okay with that? So my next question is, if you can't advertise a property for sale that's not legal basement, then why would you advertise a basement apartment for lease when it's not legal? And I know the answer, because my client wants me.
My client asked me.
So what's your suggestion? Is tell them to do it themselves, right?
Do it themselves.
On Facebook or something.
Tell them to
Keep
do
it
it
off
themselves.
MLS.
Yeah, you can
Or down
help.
the website.
If it's a good client and you want to help them, you could give them blank documents and sort of guide them, but you cannot be part of necessarily that process. Yeah, you
I
can.
think you can just scare them off by telling them how much we
Even
charge.
if you put it on the ad,
You don't do it. Your client should.
Your client,
You should not put your name attached
If
to
your client's
it.
got an illegal basement apartment, you want you to lease it, you show them how to do it. Go to Facebook Marketplace, do it themselves. Show them how to
Give them the
how to hook
ad.
up with SingleKey, and away you go.
And you may want to advise them to make it a legal apartment. So you can put it on MLS and you can, it's not always possible, but Claire always talks about that. Why are we not making these properties
So we got
legal?
hung up there. Okay, people want to pay cash. You want to pay cash on the table for what reason?
Get a deal.
What tax?
So you can get a qualified contractor for $10 versus $60.
Oh, you're talking about the renter.
All right? No, I'm talking you're building a basement apartment. Why would you pay it under the table?
You get two
cash?
quotes. You got a guy that says, hey, it's going to be X plus HST, and you've got a cash.
If it's above the table, then it's legal, and you've got a building permit, and you got all the stuff that then all of a sudden that rental qualifies for somebody to get a mortgage. So somebody's going to pay more money for a property that's a legal basement market. Any money that you save in taxes and under the table, you're going to save and increase the value of the property having a legal basement.
Yeah, but then what happens is that contractor that's doing it and wanting to do it for cash, if you start providing invoices, that he may lose his government income,
Oh, okay.
$5,000 a month.
We lost it there, we weren't sure where he was going.
There are some unique situations, sure.
70% contractors, they don't want to do with the.
Okay, so
Which is fine. You can do it however you want to do, but just understand
Just
the
as an
consequences.
agent.
You're gonna, as an agent, you can't hire an
Stay
agent to help
away.
you put a tenant. You got to do your own work.
let's say you're in business. This is not consumer talking. Let's say you're in business, right? Like, okay, for here, I had years ago, it was crazy. Let's say you're in a 50% tax bracket as a business, right? And you're going to pay some guy to get a machine fixed. The guy wants cash on the table, so he doesn't. Well, wait a second. You're writing. You can write off 50% of your taxes, but you can't write anything on the table. So it's costing you actually twice as much, so this guy can save his taxes because you can't write it off.
Yeah, but you're assuming this business made $0. They're still invoicing certain jobs. They're making money.
Well, whatever
They
it
just want to
is.
keep a big portion of it under the table.
So, but it still doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it's a no-win.
Anyway, so be careful with those. And also, as I said before, your information guide and your BRAs, try to get them signed before you have an offer signed. You'll save yourself a lot of grief, right?
Yeah, because we've seen Rico comment on that, and I've seen a lawyer comment on it. So that's twice this year. I've seen two different bodies of people say to keep your buyer representation documents separate from your offer documents, like a separate send. You should even just do it first, right when you meet them, and then do all your offer stuff later. But just have separate files so you can show you. And you got to go a step further, and you have to explain the information that's in that.
And what Rico's looking for is to see if you've been working with the client that's not under contract, which is against TRESA. Am I right?
Yep.
You follow me there? In other words, you cannot give a client service without having a BRA or a listing agreement. It's against the law.
Yeah.
I know people do it, but I'm just telling you. So if you've got a BRA that's signed the same day as the offer, something happens, Rico's first thing they're going to say, well, how long you're working with this buyer? Did you have a BRA when you show them property?
Because it's easy for the client to say, I didn't know, I just signed it. It's harder for you to prove that you had been working with them for a year and did 30 showings but didn't have your representation agreement until the day you did an offer. So again, we all know what happens in the street. You can do whatever you want, but we're telling you the consequences.
happens when Rico
what happens when, you know?
So we have it on. We have it recorded.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yes, at exactly
minutes?
1:33 p.m. we talked about your Rico guide.
We can tell them that no matter what, you have to sign these documents because
You can
they
say,
don't want to sign.
what's their hesitation in signing?
Well, because they don't want to commit to this. guy.
Because we haven't showed value of what we provide as a buyer's agent. The Rico guide is a legal requirement. So I would say that. I'm legally obligated to have you read this guide.
So
the buyer contract is a little bit more finesse.
Do your best. All right?
Yeah,
I'm just telling you what the law says.
true. Yeah, have it in writing that you asked for it. Good, I'm okay if Katelyn wants to go for it.
You've got your AI thing. I have mine too.
I'm just going to repeat. I want you to talk about it.
I wasn't going to talk too much, but I know we just sent this out in your emails, I think on Friday or Thursday last week. You guys might have received a practical AI guide for agents. It just gives prompts if you guys are using ChatGPT and Gemini. I haven't personally dove into Gemini yet. I think you, San, and Sanic use Gemini.
I do too.
You do too?
I've been using Gemini too.
So obviously we all know about ChatGPT, but it's got some cool things. Actually, creating a business plan is one, and I even sent out an email to you guys last week. If you guys looked at it, to click on a link to go fill out some questions to get a 90-day business plan. That was all created through AI and ChatGPT. We had some nerd team kind of do it with us, but they created a questionnaire, says what types of activities you want to do, what activities you will not do, and then it gives you a 90-day business plan. So these are just different things that ChatGPT can do for you. And it gives you the actual prompts. So that's what this guide was for. So it literally says copy and paste exactly what it is. If you guys don't know how to talk to this type of platform, I think this one was, what else? Yeah, it gave you guys some homework if you guys wanted to do open houses, different scripts. I think it's even got marketing, writing a newsletter. You guys all know that, like, what types of things these tools can do for you guys. But in case you don't and you don't know how to talk to it, this is a really good guide just to give you guys the prompts on how to communicate with ChatGPT and Gemini. Did you want to add to it?
No.
No. So I think it's good. I don't know if we're AI'd out or not, but I think they're cool tools.
Some people using AI. Is everybody using AI yet, or it's not doing 100% what I want it to do just yet. But
No, I think it's getting better.
ChatGPT, is it? Is that the one
ChatGPT.
that you look at listing comments are all the same?
Yeah,
It's all
so-
from ChatGPT.
Yeah, so we were saying in a couple meetings ago how not to use ChatGPT for all of your descriptions, especially if you've got a stale listing, maybe doing your own copyright, but using it maybe as a guide on making it better.
Right?
Yeah,
Or don't use
exactly.
the first thing it gives you.
That's right.
Yeah, just say use this tone instead or change these words. So you can use as many prompts as you want. You don't have to use the exact first prompt that it gives you or the result. You can kind of finesse it a little bit so it's a little bit more in your language. And the more you guys use these tools, the more it will adapt to your style as well, so it doesn't seem so robotic. But that's a guide there. That was emailed to you guys. I think I put it in the chat or in the WhatsApp chat as well. So if you guys want to take a look at it. Claire's been talking a lot about farming, and he's been on top of us to get you guys into farming, just to kind of like different strategies. And I found this article actually that I thought was pretty good because we've been telling you guys to do, if you're going to do farming, you should do it for 12 months to see any results. I found this article, this is in the US, but this was an agent that did a 7-week mail campaign that delivered $42,000 in gross commission. And I thought this was a really interesting way because she kind of goes against what we tell you guys where it's like a long-term thing. She said she wanted to do something a little bit more short-term to see if that would add some value. So I'm going to tell you guys like exactly what she did, but she spent $4,300 on a campaign, and some agents thought that that was overkill. But what she did was she targeted homeowners who lived in their homes for over 20 years and in her geographic farm. And overall, there were about 300 homeowners that had lived in their homes for over 20 years. So these are probably people that have been there for a long time, maybe thinking about downsizing or selling, probably in the more near future. So her goal was to reach quietly, considering sellers that were looking to downsize but weren't quite in motion yet. So she just wanted to get ahead of them before they get to that part. So what she did was she found 300 long-term homeowners, and each of these homeowners received 4 letters in hand-addressed envelopes. 1,500 homes received 3 postcards, and this was all in 7 weeks. So the way that she did it was week 1 was a letter. Week 2, she sent out a postcard. Week 3, she sent out another letter. Week 4 was a postcard. Then she sent another letter. Then she sent a postcard. And then she sent a final letter. So she did 7 pieces of mail for 7 weeks. And it was 1 touch per week for 7 weeks straight in a time compressed model. So she didn't make it a very loud or overly branded piece, but that's kind of the breakdown that she did. Overall, what she ended up getting was $42,000 in gross commission. So she got a $625,000 listing and nearly $5 million in the pipeline just from that 7-week campaign. So overall, she did 5 appointments, got 2 listings signed. And yeah, that was quite an impressive thing. So if you guys are thinking about maybe you don't have the time and you don't want to wait like a year to see results, this may be something that you may want to consider in a specific area for just 7 weeks. Again, she spent $4,200. She used a program called Listing Leads. I don't know if this is an American thing, but if you guys look up Listing Leads materials, they give you all the letters and the postcards. They have sample templates. She took those templates and then she dropped them into Canva. She quickly added some of her branding to kind of match her look. She then printed them on Vistaprint and then shipped using UPS. So we probably have the same thing. She had a local printer that printed these cards for her. You guys can also probably use Canada Post Mail. I know Ginny does a lot with that. So that could be something you guys consider. On top of the mail outs, she also made phone calls during that campaign. So this is, she said not as many as she should have, but the mail did the heavy lifting, but she also did make an effort to make a phone call to see if it would match up. So I thought that was a really cool task. So if you guys are thinking of some sort of marketing, maybe you want to do farming in a specific area, but you haven't really thought about it, go check out a specific area, look up what owners have been there for 20 plus years. Probably Scarborough would be a really good location for that because a lot of people have been in these houses for a long time. She only did 300 houses. And then every other week she did a letter and a postcard. So
she did this year?
Yeah, this year. This is an American as well, so might be a little bit different. But I thought that was a really unique type. I know Claire would maybe call it guerrilla marketing probably. Maybe if you had a listing that sold in that area. This was her geographical farm, but I think that was a really cool strategy that you guys may want to consider.
And I was,
You have to send it in 3 different languages.
You could,
why not?
Yeah, you could do different languages as well.
That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
And also, it sounds like she stopped. I would keep going, but not.
So no, she doesn't stop. So what she did is now she took this campaign and she's going to repeat it, but she's also going to try different neighborhoods now. So she's not just going to stick to that one because she already figured out of those neighbors. She had conversations with them, but at the end of it, she did say this is a strategy that she isn't going to stop and she will continue to do.
But it wouldn't be that intense. I would just probably do it once a month or something there after you've done the initial.
Yeah, so maybe after that it's just once a month instead of once a week. But she wanted something that was quick and would make her money fast, and it wasn't something that she was just building relationships with for 12 months. She wanted to know who was thinking about doing something today.
Yeah, I'll add to that too. Andrew Fogliato did a really cool article about 10 things that he's learned in his career in real estate. So just related to that, when you talk about ads, if your ad email, it has to be simple. So don't make it too complicated. Don't make them think too hard. So she even mentioned that she mentioned
keeping it very simple.
Clean, very simple. So simple is what helps you scale. Also, don't be too like cutesy or too like bold. Like people get too cute with their ads, and he's saying clarity wins. So show people who you help, what you do, and how they can work with you. No riddles or cutesy things.
No recipes.
You know, like just make it simple.
The car.
And then similar to what Claire was saying, you know, a lot of people quit too soon. So people run one Facebook ad, don't get a client. Facebook ads don't work. They run one postcards in a farm area, farming doesn't work. So you have to keep it going. So that you could do over and over and over.
Once a week.
Either in a different neighborhood or the same farm area, but you have to keep doing it over and over because you can't just do it once and expect something to come out of that. So yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. If you guys want this article, again, I think it was called, what was that company called? I think you, Sam, were you looking it up?
Inside Listing Leads
Listing
materials.
Leads. I don't know if it's just American or what it is, but they have apparently all the different letters and postcards that you just pick, and she used the downsizing campaign.
It's pretty much just like a
template?
Subscribe and then they'll give you everything.
Okay, yeah. So if you guys don't want to come up with the content, or you could use ChatGPT, but I mean, if there's a company out there that's got proven results, I would maybe look into it. Another article I found was the #1 reason that agents are getting fired right now. And we were just kind of talking about this now, but I'm going to go over this. So listing cancellations are rising, which we also know just as a brokerage level, we've been getting probably a cancellation a day, whether they relist or not. So if you don't want to be one of those people that gets canceled, then your service needs to stand out. So here they gave us 3 non-negotiable communication points. So if you guys are at the verge of getting fired, maybe you have a listing right now and there's no news to give and you can feel yourself about to get fired or your clients aren't liking you. These are 3 different things that you guys can do to avoid that. #1 is a weekly phone call, not a text, not an email, or a call. And we talked about this in our WhatsApp group. If you guys were watching, an agent asked, how often should I be calling my agent or my clients if nothing's going on? We said once a week. Way too many of you guys go silent the moment that you feel a hard conversation coming. So instead of stepping up, you typically ghost the seller, and that's exactly how you get fired. So a weekly phone call, maybe it's every Monday. You guys should be doing that and maybe scheduling it with your clients. And on the phone call, the things that you guys should be covering are maybe feedback from the showings. If you haven't had any showings, then give them the data. Any sales activity in the area, so what's selling, what's sitting, and then how it compares to you guys. Any progress updates. Maybe you guys have been checking in with any past offers, or you guys are checking in with people, and then maybe future pacing. #1 rule of the calls is do not wait for your clients to call you. That never ends well. So always be ahead of your clients in this type of market when you guys are trying to stay on top of it. The other type of conversations you guys should be having is unfiltered feedback from buyers that's not coming from you. So you want to ask the buyers what they're thinking. They're saying change your feedback questions, which we could consider as a brokerage changing it, because we just say, what do you think about the price, and is your client interested? That's what the Broker Bay one is saying. They're suggesting when you're doing your feedback, say, what is your client's interest level? What price would your buyer be willing to pay? What's holding your buyers back from making an offer right now? And then any additional comments. And then you want to send that feedback directly to the seller and don't sugarcoat it. Because I know we like to sugarcoat it when they say it smells bad, your place looks like crap, it's dirty. Like, you have to give and it's not coming from you, it's coming exactly from the buyers and what they're saying. So it kind of removes you from that line of fire when you're getting more of that feedback. So you should be doing feedback calls from every single showing that you guys have.
I will say it's kind of nice to call for your feedback too, because it's kind of nice to connect with the agent and say what's happening in your market and how, because sometimes agents have been in the business for a long time, and I know Senate can have like a couple hours on the call for a feedback call, but it's kind of nice just to talk to other people, and then you can ask the real questions like, how did it show? What did this look bad? And ask questions that you wouldn't have just gotten from the Broker Bay feedback.
Yeah, and even on that side, as a listing agent, don't be scared to call the other agents that have listings in that market. We've had that happen, and they'll be like, hey, like, how are the showings going on your listing? And then you can tell your clients, oh, like, just so you know, we're in the same boat as your neighbor. They're also not getting showings, kind of thing. So we've had agents call just to ask feedback, or if you saw an agent that did a list low strategy in an offer night, call them and say, hey, did that strategy work? Maybe it's a strategy that you can add to yours. So always call the listing agents too if you guys have got a slow listing too. Then the third thing is weekly web traffic reports, which we've talked about in a few of our meetings. List track is what you guys would use. Every week you should be giving your seller a weekly web traffic report, letting them know how many people viewed the property online, how many saved it, how many times that listing's been shared, and then how it compares to similar properties in the area. So if that interest that you guys are getting from the web is not translating into tours, then you've got a little bit more ammo to explain what might need to change on your show, or sorry, on your listing.
You have the list track and those report.
Yeah, list track will be one. If you guys use Spotlight, they also have a report as well. Those would probably be your best ones for sure.
Yep, you can PDF it. And
I think you have to PDF it and send as attachment.
Yes.
It will though, yeah.
Even one of our agents, she's a little bit more old school. What she did is she actually printed it and she drove over to the seller's house, sat in their kitchen, and went over the report. They had no offers or anything, but she went and sat with them. She didn't even do the weekly call. She goes physically to their home. Nice. So again, weekly phone call, raw buyer feedback, and web traffic reports if you don't want to get fired. Otherwise, if you're ghosting them, they're just going to hire another agent. They're probably shopping around.
Yeah, they didn't hire you to be nice to them and tell them exactly what they wanted to hear. You know, we have to educate them and be strong and direct. I think that's the market we're in right now.
Yeah.
Just a comment. How many of you guys fill out the survey after you show them a property?
I do. I'm a nerd. I do.
It helps the other agent.
When you show a property, do you not get an email saying thanks for showing? Can you fill out the survey? How many people fill it out?
Aww.
I feel.
So what you should do?
So my next question would be, why would you expect other agents to fill it out?
They won't. That's why.
That's my comment. That's my comment.
I think if you are looking for feedback, the best way, honestly, in my experience, is texting the other agent, because then they can respond when they want, and you'll just say, hey, I'm the listing agent for this. Thanks for showing. Did your client have any interest? I don't say, what was your feedback? I said, did your client have interest? And usually they'll say no, and then you can follow up saying, did they have any feedback? But I find texting is the best. When you call them, they're usually either on the road, they forgot about it, but at least you can give them the time to respond, and I find you get the best response by texting. I think Usan's also nodding, so.
Yeah, the Poker Bay thing is like an auto thing. I think we're just used to this thing that comes after you show it, and we just delete it.
And calling throws you off, especially if you showed 6 houses and you're driving, you're like, I have no idea what house I showed.
If I'm the buying agent, though, and I want to say, hey, your house is a mess and it stinks, I don't think I want to put that in writing.
No, but then you can we're just saying initiate it with a text so that you're prepared for what type of information you want to get.
Yeah. But those are things that the seller can fix. So if they say the house smelled bad, then all right, let's go make it smell pretty. Like there's some things that you can fix. If it says it's on a main road, that's something you can't fix. So there are some things that the seller can change.
It's good feedback, because likely this person has seen your unit or house and 40 other ones in the same area. So it's good to connect with these people and get the feedback.
Perfect. So I'll skip this one for now, just for time's sake.
Well, just tell them the main point of what we're doing is just editing the listing presentations.
So we've been working on our listing presentation forever.
We were finding like we have a 13-page Century 21 thing, and that's been adapted from I think tons of other coaches.
Like the PowerPoint.
And then it just started getting a little too convoluted. I started to go to our listing presentations, and we had our deck, and I started flipping through the pages, and I'm like, they're like staring at me, like waiting for me to tell them the price or get to the guts of the thing.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about revamping.
So what we're thinking about, which is so funny that we're even talking about this, but we were talking to one of our older agents.
Have you guys seen this? Elio, does this look
Probably
familiar?
Elio would have seen something like this. We thought it was a bit wild, but you know what? We tried it at a listing presentation last week. We took it, we stole it. We're like, you know what? We're just going to try this listing presentation and see if the old school way works better than our little PowerPoint presentation. And it did.
Yeah, I mean, we walk in this house. The guy had just lost his mom 2 weeks ago. He's traveling here to clean up the house and get it ready. And we always say go to the kitchen. They say, do you want to sit on the couch? Of course we say yes.
We did everything we told you guys not to do.
Yeah, so
we sat on the couch.
And I'm staring at him, and I'm like, all he's thinking about is his mom that passed away and how I'm going to help him sell his house. He doesn't want to know about my awards or what I sold or my brokerage, or I could just feel it, his energy. And we just started talking about, okay, let's talk about the price. We're going to talk about the location. Like, you tell us, how do you feel about the location of your house? And this is on St. Clair. Oh my gosh.
We're gonna be really innovative here, guys, but this works.
So don't, you can make this however
he even
you
has
want.
words.
Oh my God, so funny. And so you use this as your script now. Get them to tell you about the location, and you're gonna say, well, the location's gonna impact the price. So we're gonna talk about price in a little bit, but let's keep talking.
So he has price as the last,
which is what you said too.
But this agent put the price as number 2 because he wanted to kind of say, we're gonna come back.
We're gonna come back to the price. We're gonna talk about the price. Funny. Something we're gonna talk about. Again, you can adapt this, right? Let's talk about the terms. And in this case, it was a probate sale, so we knew we had to go through probate, and these were the terms of the sale. And it was an estate sale. It's as is. We talk about all those things. At the end, the terms are going to affect the price.
And this one, he's saying we have no control. We have no control.
That's right.
Interesting.
Condition, timing, and so this one page became our entire listing presentation.
So we're going to revamp your presentations where it's not a PowerPoint. And what we were talking about at the beginning is, so we think price needs to be a sheet. The CMA is the only customized thing that you guys would bring. The marketing package would be another sheet. And then the other one would be the market stats, which is what we think should be a monthly sheet that you guys print and bring to the presentation with you so that it's a month by month, not just, and we'll have it ready for you guys. And then anything that's like local, like hyper local market stats, obviously you'll come up with when you do the CMA. But I mean, we might have to go old school a little bit. Would you guys do this as a presentation if you were?
Some people may like this.
100%.
But the Millennium
I don't think the millennials would like the long one. I think they would like this one too, to be honest.
We're over it. We're millennials. We've done the long one. You have to read your audience. You have to read your client and sort of figure out like what are they looking for from you, and then you have to use.
But you can
these
put all
pages
like
where it
the
makes
fluffy
sense.
stuff in a nice buyer's guide if you want to talk about yourself and your awards and your office. That can be simply put into a reading thing that they can deal with later.
But it's a good point. You have to adapt your own style. We're going to give you all the tools and all the things, and then you pick and gather what you like and what works for you, but then do that over and over and over. And so we're going to give you all the stuff to pick from, but adapt to it and make it your own, right?
So we are in the works of your presentation. It was just taking me a long time because I didn't believe in it and I didn't love the presentation that we've been doing. So I think I think this got us more excited.
I'd say if you're younger, like talk to some of these agents that have been around for a long time. You can be humbled very easy. We had a 2-hour conversation last week with a very good agent who gave us all these materials. We have like one right here who literally just had this exact same material, but you can learn a lot. And I'm not just saying scripts and the hard sales, but it's like how to talk to people. These people have been doing it for a long time. You can learn a lot from them. So definitely encourage, if you're younger, partner up with somebody who's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, this is also on it too.
Yeah. And if we call
my personal plan of
I made a plan of action and I thought I was so savvy and I'm like, oh my God, mine's a calendar plan of action. It's not, I'm not special. This is 30 years in the business.
So I think our presentation is now going to be pamphlets.
And then you pick and choose what you want. I want to give you like graphs as well, so you can pick and choose. Like if it's the hindsight theory you want to talk about, or if it's the pricing, like you throw out what you need to.
And we're laughing because you had one on. Where's the staging one? We think staging is this like revolutionary thing.
Stagings. I provide staging.
This guy's been doing staging since who knows when.
Staging is not new.
Home staging. That's so funny. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're gonna take it a little bit old school, I think, on our presentations. I think, right? Give it a shot.
Claire's like, you guys are just,
Claire's like, I know. I know.
Well, if you remember, you have your presentation, but you also have your point form presentation.
I think the point form is the best thing for agents because I think we stumble upon our words a lot. You get nervous with that PowerPoint, and then if you just have this little sheet, if you're just looking at this, like Carly just went right through these 5 points, and it was great.
I think most of our time was just chatting with them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, behind each one of those items, those factors, you have to have your scripts, and you have to have you have to have your pricing script, you have to have your commission scripts.
And if the word script is like throwing you off because you think it's like an old school thing and you're like, ew, I don't want to learn scripts, like use a different word. Like these are just conversation starters or, you know.
So you have to assume your client's going to say to you that somebody's going to do it for less commission. Somebody else is going to do it for less commission, right?
Yep.
What are your words? What's your answer?
Yeah, so call it what you want to call it, but you have to have something to say.
Call it a script, call it a routine, call it an answer, whatever you want to do. What's
like you should have something. Like even just having this one page, I know probably 90% of agents just show up with their CMA and call it a day. But this in itself almost has some scripts in it too, so to have something in front of you.
Elio, do you have a page that talks about commission, or do you just talk about that naturally after you've gone through all of this stuff?
This agent did not.
That's what I think too. Yeah, it's like you don't need a separate handout. It's like it's almost not part of the conversation. This is the conversation. The commission is just part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's fascinating.
So we're working on that. Hopefully by the time we do our back to school in September, October, we're gonna have. I know you, San, and us are all working on something right now that we're hoping to release to you guys this fall. Very innovative things that aren't so innovative, really mind-blowing things. Anyways, anything else before I go on what's happening? Okay, so we've got a busy month. This week on Wednesday at 12 o'clock, we're gonna be meeting at the Rouge Beach to do a beach garbage pickup. It's obviously optional. If you guys want to do a beach cleanup on your own beach near your house, I'm gonna leave some garbage bags and gloves at the Kennedy office and Ajax. So if you guys wanna pick them up today and tomorrow, I will leave some. Someone asked what we were gonna be wearing. We will probably be wearing some Fulton swag of some sort if you guys want. If there's no garbage on the beach, then it's just gonna be an active walking day that we can all participate in.
And if you wanna buy some swag, it's available for sale downstairs. The girls can help you out as well.
Yeah, so we thought we would just get outside. I haven't checked the weather, but hopefully it's
Sanek's always checking the weather. What's the weather?
What's the weather like on Wednesday?
Next 2 days is nice.
Perfect.
We're getting our smoke and heat wave Wednesday.
Great. So if it's raining, we will not go. If it's smoky out.
It was actually hot on
yeah. So go at your own risk. Okay, so I'll send an email on that. There are some people July 23rd. So if you are Wednesday, Thursday, Rob Vivian's also in town. $2.99 for his breakthrough event. So if you did want to go to a coaching event in Ajax, that's Wednesday, Thursday. Next week, July 30th, we're going to the Mandarin with Jonathan Griffiths, the lawyer in Durham and Scarborough. We have about 10 or 20 seats left right now. So if you haven't RSVP'd with us, let us know. There's only 80 seats total. So if you guys would like to come, please let Ginny and I know so that we can let Jonathan know as well. I don't know what the topic is going to be, but it's going to be at the Mandarin in Pickering. And then August 13th is Golf Day, which we will also be going to the Mandarin as well, but we're also going to be doing Timber Creek Mini Putt. So the same place we went to last year. If you guys want to come to that, let Ginny know is there a date? Let Ginny know by August 2nd, and let us know if you're coming, if you're bringing the kids or spouses. It is a family day, so we'll do golf, and then we'll go to the Mandarin afterwards. And that's about it, I think. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to talk to our sellers about reducing their prices.
We're going to do our weekly calls with all those sellers today.
Yeah. It's going to be a good week. No holidays. I think it's next week's a normal week. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. Bye.